Yo, what is good? What is good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Um, I am, as you can see, 85 hours in, right? Playing this game. It says 97, but I'm actually 80. I completed the game and everything I needed to do in about 80 hours. Let's just say 80 hours, right? Because I was just doing a lot of miscellaneous stuff and taking photos of Ghost of Yōtei. Because it's a very beautiful game, right? Now, like, comment, and subscribe before I start this review, because I will be interested to know your thoughts on the game if you have completed the game. I'm going to try and keep it spoiler free as much as I can, but ultimately by now I would expect a lot of people should have completed the game, but because there's a lot of fake illusion around exploration in the game. For instance, people saying they haven't killed anyone from the Yōtei 6, and they 50 hours in. Ridiculous, stupid, because you're making it so that you're restricting yourself from 50% of the game because you have to, off these members so that you can explore the rest of the game. You have to do it. Anyway, my controller is crazy. Right, so like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This is my official review, and I've had some time to think about this review and to give a very good review. I feel like I have to speak about this game as its own individual game and reduce the amount of reference to Ghost of Tsushima, because a lot of people are mistaking this as a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. It's not a sequel. It's not a sequel. This has nothing to do with Ghost of Tsushima. The only correlations is Katana Samurai, Sucker Punch, and this is just another game in a franchise that they're building. The first one was Ghost of Tsushima. This one is Ghost of Yōtei. They're not connected. So let's just get that out of the way. Now, going into the game, I knew that with most games, the story is not going to be a selling point for me, because everyone knows that stories in video games are really below par, and that's fine, because the most important thing about a video game is how fun it is to play it, the enjoyability, right? Now, this was a revenge story. Revenge stories have been done many times. Good revenge stories take different approaches to the conflict and the dilemmas of dealing with your inner emotions of rage and or guilt, as well as affliction, to seeking revenge and your justifications for being a mercenary on your own path to justice, which you deem necessary, right? Two fantastic examples of revenge stories done well. Blue Eye Samurai, which is what I geared my character towards, and Kill Bill. Perfect examples. The story in this game takes one or two turns, but ultimately is whack. It's very bad because you build yourself up to doing something only to not do the something you're meant to and have geared yourself to do throughout the game. It's really bad. In fact, for me to actually discuss this better, let's teleport home. Do you know what? Let's also sleep until morning. There we go. All right. So yeah, I didn't have high hopes for the story. Just like in most games, I don't have high hopes because compared to storytelling in other mediums, you're not going to get a great story in this game versus storytelling in music, film, books, storytelling in music, film, books, and television series. Gaming is the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to that. When a game has a very good story, it's a rarity. It's really rare. So this game is no different. The story is just pretty much how you would expect it, but it takes some turns that just ruin the story ultimately. And by the end, you're left thinking, why did they do that? Why did they take that approach to the story? So that's that. In terms of how I rate games, right? I do half scores, but it's ultimately 10 out of 10. But I use it's kind of like a gymnastics approach where everyone is a 10 out of 10. It's only until they do their move or their performance, points get deducted from that 10 out of 10. So I work from 10, working my way down. IGN, for example, work from down, going their way up. So when they give their verdicts at the end of a review, they scale it up to what they think the game is. So working my way down, let's start at 10, right? The story, like I said, is very bad. Well, the story is bad. It's not very bad. It's just bad. It's not good at all. You don't build up a character for them to ultimately go against the character that was built. It's just, why did you do that? It takes away some of the character's development. So that means the game to me is now 9 out of 10, right? Let's keep going. In the lead up to creating this game, they said that you can take out the Yōtei 6 in any order you want. There was an article from the developer that said that, right? you can choose in which order to take them out in. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm going to take out the leader first and then work my way down. You can't do that. Not in this game. When it comes to choices that you can make in the game, you have no choices. There is none. Everything is linear and set up and pre-planned for you to take. You have no say in it. So in terms of the Yōtei 6, this is how the game has made it. No matter what you do, you have to take out the snake. The snake is first, no matter what, because they use that as the tutorial to entering the game with. So the snake is first. The kitsune or the oni, you can take either one of them out, but they will be either second or third. No matter what you do, they will be second or third. Whichever one you choose to go through first is up to you. It makes no difference to how the story goes or anything like that, or to how the game goes. They will be second or third. After that, the game opens up into chapter 2, where you then face the Saito brothers, the dragon and the spider. They will be fourth, will be the dragon that you take out. No matter what you do, the dragon will be fourth. And then fifth will be the spider. And then Lord Saito is last. You have no say or no freedom to do them in any order you want. The same with the dialogue options between NPCs. When you are you know, I feel like riding my horse to a really nice location whilst doing this. When you are speaking with NPCs in the game, you're gonna get dialogue choices that you can choose, right? Now, these dialogue choices are oh. Wow, that's cool. I haven't done that before. So yeah, these dialogue choices mean nothing. No matter what choice you choose, the response will always be the same. The action will always be the same. The reaction will always be the same. No matter what dialogue choice you do. It's a mirage to make you think that you have different dialogue choices, that the game could go in different ways.
You are well armed.
It is always a dangerous place.
That it is,
Right, hold
especially
on.
for a woman. Rumor has it Lord Saito is filling his ranks with female recruits.
See, look, here's a dialogue choice. You've got the wrong idea. Maybe you should too. No matter what choice I select, the answer will always be the same. It doesn't matter what you choose.
Well, Clan Matsumai won't take them.
What did you say?
Relax, samurai. I'm hunting the Yōtei 6.
That's Matsumai business. Don't interfere. This wanderer is of no concern.
All of this
She'll
would have
be
happened
dead
if I
by
picked the
tomorrow
first
anyway.
thing.
Move out. Wonder if the nine
Makes no difference. The weird and bizarre thing about that whole conversation is Lord Saito is already being deaded. Look at my sash. Like, he's already been deaded. Because if we go to the title screen, I don't have the sash anymore. So that dialogue made no sense because he's not even alive anymore. Let me go to this tree. Hopefully, I wonder if it's a hot spring. I don't think it is actually. Oh, it's a fox den. I want to go to a nice location. Let's see. What's a nice location? A nice location, and I'll get back to this review. Oh, let's try this. Yeah, this will do for now. So yeah, you do not get any choice or say in a matter of taking out the Yōtei 6. You get no choice or say in a matter to the response of NPCs when you're having dialogue with them, and that affects the immersion of the game. So for that reason, the game is a 8, right? So look, we're going down. We started off at a 10. We went down to a 9 for the story being bad. It's not the worst story, but it's just very unfulfilling. To the point that it's like you did a revenge story really wrong. And now 8. So first the story being bad. So now it goes down from a 10 to a 9. The dialogue options and choices in the game for such an open world game that give you the illusion of choices to just take it away from you. Like, no, you don't actually have no choice. You are actually very restricted. The restrictions brings this game down to an 8, right? So let's keep going. Let's talk about the actual immersion of this game. There's a lot of things that you are quite restricted on when it comes to this game. I'm gonna showcase this and then we'll go and return back to a hot spring. Nature's guided you here, so drink to your luck. May fortune visit you in these waters. Oh. They got sake to drink. Nice. Anyway, when I say this game has a lot of restrictions, right? It's an open world game, but you'll be surprised at how unopened the game actually is. So
Come, Shimaki.
let me give you some examples. As soon as this sake is worn off. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen this. Anyway.
An Ainu trader. Hunehe.
I don't think I've seen this.
Ah, Urahe, Katkewa. I'd offer you my finest ashkuru this side of Mount Yōtei. But my wares are sparse at the moment.
Ashkuru. That is a kind of sake, isn't it?
But better.
I know this is a review,
I've always wanted to
but
try it.
this is
My
the end
father
game,
traded
and
a
I
few
guess these
bottles,
are
but
the
guarded
little
them
things
like
I
a
haven't
hawk.
done yet,
A man of good taste. Pity bandits
which
don't share that
leaves me
appreciation.
with
You were robbed?
Unfortunately,
replayability
this
of the
one
game,
the
which I'll
last
get
of
to
my
after this
Ashkara
point about the
masterpiece.
immersion and the freedom
Sure,
you
these
actually
old
get
bones
in this
couldn't
game.
reach it.
Show me.
They wanted coin. My people don't have any use for it. We prefer to barter. Bartering is easier when exchanging goods with all kinds of peoples, even from across the seas. I tried telling them this.
Alright, so what are we doing here?
I assume they weren't impressed.
They slung the Ashkur over to that spire below us.
Ah,
There is a climbing path of sorts. I could get to it.
Oh, well, yes, but that is a very long way to fall.
It would be a pity to never taste the best ashikuru this side of Ezo.
there might be a katana
You
katana
cannot be
down there.
serious.
So
There's no
let me
need.
do
What's
this
done is
mission whilst
done.
talking and discussing this review. So there's a lot of invisible walls in this game, and you just saw me go down a path. This just is an indication as to how linear the game is. There's no other way I could have gone down this mountain or climbed back up this mountain. They have a path that you always must go down. You don't have freedom in this game. Here we go. It just so happens to be a path for me to go to complete this task. And that's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing. However,
That smells good. And the bottle is unique.
however, it takes away from the freedom that you have. My controller is really messing me up right now. A foreign canteen filled with a hell brewed. Okay. But the most important thing is we get a katana here. It's good that I'm doing this in this review actually, because this is one of the positive aspects of the game. The things that you can naturally find just through exploring. Alright, so I've just done that, so let's go back. Oh look, there's a path for me to go back. How convenient. There's way too many conveniences in this game. Like, there's the thing in gaming called the yellow tape method, which game developers use to undermine the intelligence of gamers because they feel they're not smart enough to figure things out themselves. There's a humongous amount of that in this game.
Fearless as the great Okikurumi, this one. The Ashkir is yours, friend.
This bottle isn't Ainu made.
A trade from the Ripunkuru people that live in the icy plains across the sea. Their artistry with lacquer is unmatched. Now go on. That Ashkir won't drink itself.
Pay attention to the facial animations as well.
That's what I like to hear. My village is past the Great Lake.
They're really not the
Run empty.
best.
Good to know.
They're really not
Stay out of trouble.
that good.
Apuno paean.
The facial animations are really underwhelming here in this game completely, and you'll only notice it after you've played it for a number of hours. like myself. But back to my point about immersion. In such a huge game, there is a very small amount of animals in this game. It's very small. Like, look, there's no animals around. I can count on 2 hands the amount of animals in this whole world. You got one singular bear at times. You get some birds, deer, foxes, wolves, and what else? I've seen cows. And that's about it. Same thing with eating and consuming items. You only get to consume mushrooms, like the one I just picked up, fish, there's fish in the game, fish, and sake. That's it. Throughout this whole game, that's the only things you get to consume, which is very odd for a game this large. Okay, I've done this already. Here's some birds. Maybe they're seagulls. There's some deer over there. But yeah, that's about it in terms of the animals. Now look. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. There's a lot of invisible walls in this game. A lot of invisible walls. Let's see if I can find one. If I just ride in one direction, I will encounter an invisible wall. Let's see. So I just rode through a forest. I'm pretty sure if I go... If I just go here, for example, and I'm going towards that big forest in the distance, I won't be able to. Because back to the point, the immersion. And this review is a lot longer than I would have wanted. Here we go, invisible wall. So I'm gonna summarize at the end of this review. But look, there's a lot of this. Invisible walls like this. And that is to keep you contained within the parameters of what the game developers wanted you to explore. But when you think about it, that means this whole area is non-explorable. The only explorable parts is individual areas here, these particular areas, right? And that's fine, but again, it feeds into the illusion of how much exploration you really get to do. Just like the dialogue options, they give you the impression that you get a choice, but you don't get a choice. The game will go the way it is meant to. So for that reason, because it's really bizarre that you only get to eat 2 things in this whole game and drink sake, and that's it. And yeah, there's horses as well, but there's not a lot of animals. Like, you don't see any small animals at all, like squirrels or rabbits. See deer. Another thing that takes away from the immersion is let's say I wanted to hunt deer. Right, let's hunt this deer, right? I think the deer has disappeared. I think the deer has disappeared. You can hunt deer, right? But you can't hunt birds because the bullets and the arrows just go straight through them. Same thing with the horses. Not that you would want to hunt horses, but why is it that arrows goes through deer, but they don't go through horses? It's very strange, and it just affects the immersion of the game. So for that overall reason, like, what's this? Like, that should have been killed from that. Just go straight through them. For that reason alone, let's use a gun this time. That knocks the score down to a 7 out of 10, right? The deer just disappeared. The deer just disappeared. So the game is, at this point, so far, a 7. Another thing about the game is the combat.
Come on, Shimaki.
The combat has no depth. So these are the moves you get to do as a samurai, right? These are the moves, right? But ultimately, you're just pressing the same button over and over and over again. Triangle, over again. See, it's all the same. Now, again, triangle, circle. Every move is geared towards one button. Triangle. Like, it's just your button mashing, really. Therefore, the combat is passable to me. And I say that with the only comparison with Tsushima in this whole review is Tsushima's had a lot more depth with the combat. Not saying this combat is bad, it just lacks in depth. And it is very, very dumbed down because, again, you're just pressing the same button over and over again. Which brings me to the AI, the enemies. They're very stupid. They're you can just be hiding in plain sight and they won't see you. That kind of stupid. One of their team members or allies could be getting chopped, sliced to pieces with a samurai sword. They will wait until it's done, until they get involved. It's very, very stupid. They are very much very much...
That damn noise!
Okay, this is new. They're very much sword sponges. They've dwindled this game down to it being just a hack and slash, really. Whereas Tsushima was more
Some
intricate.
birds are fighting on the roof.
You actually had
Head of
to
mine can't think with all that
be more
racket.
tactical with your
Quiet them down.
fights, with your combat. What the hell did he just say? Oh, I think he wanted me to climb up there, right? And that also brings me to the combat in terms of...
Go on.
That is
Ooh.
much better.
Interesting. This ain't too bad of a hat, actually. Let's wear it for now.
Thank you.
You shouldn't be out here on your own, old man.
Did you know that if you gaze upon Mount Yōtei, you can stir the kami that live within it?
Appeal to their vanity, and they will grant you the mountain's blessing.
You know the stories. Ezo could use a blessing right about now. But with these worn eyes, I could never hope to satisfy the mountain with my praise.
With the...
Maybe I can help.
Tell me what you see.
Let me pause for a second. Well, actually, let's do this.
A blanket of snow catches both the sun and moon like starlight.
A subtle beauty.
The slopes wrinkle in age and in wisdom.
I can relate.
Life grows under the protection
That's a
of the
very
mountain's
nice,
shadow.
very nice
Ever vigilant.
scenery view.
Such presence. You know the mountain well.
She's the one thing that never changes.
I'm sure she will be pleased with your description.
Wonder what else I can see up here.
Is there anything else? Dueling tree. So right now we're on 7. Yeah, so with the combat, the boss fights are scripted. And that is one of the things in gaming I hate. Along with like yellow tape, yellow taping in games. I hate scripted boss fights. And what I mean by scripted boss fights is you can't defeat a boss unless something very specific that the game developers has designed occurs or happens. Without that, you can't defeat the bosses. Now, the end boss was stupid at the end of the day. It was just really stupid. But that's what scripted boss fights do. So, with that, with the lack of depth, with the what's it called? With the lack of depth with the combat system, that knocks it down to a 6. So we went from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7. Now we're down to 6. Last thing that makes this game bad is the let me think how to say this.
Why not rest a while and barter?
All right, I'm finally at a location that I would like to relax and rest. So the last thing is replayability. There is no replayability in this game. Once you've completed the game, you don't get like the chance to replay the fights that you've done. And I'm not talking about the boss fights. I'm talking about just the side quest fights. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do anything else except to run around, eat mushrooms and fish. And that's if you've completed all the side quests. Because again, I've spent 80 hours on this game. So I did a lot of the side quests on my mission to building up my character so that making the boss fights was easy enough. Do you know what? I need a different hot spring. I need a hot spring that has a good view. Let's try find one. All right, this is a good one. Very nice hot spring. So the lack of replay ability in this game is like really a letdown, because having a photo mode is fantastic. That's all that's left to do in the game. On top of the fact that you have difficulty settings from easy, medium, hard, lethal. Doesn't matter which one you do, the reward at the end of the game is the same. You get no reward. If you have the option to play on lethal difficulty or hard, you should be rewarded for that by getting something significant, because you completed the game on the hardest difficulty. You get nothing for that. And that is something that is really annoying, because you should definitely be rewarded. So the lack of reward for playing the game and replayability in the game makes this a 5 out of 10 ultimately. But the caveat to this 5 out of 10 rating that I'm giving it is that I'm not going to resell this game. It's a good game and it's fun to play, but in all honesty, it's a 5 out of 10. That is my ultimate review after spending a couple of days to think about it and break it down. I'm going to do this as a short as well to just summarize my whole thoughts on this game. It's a good game, but it's not a great game. And it's certainly not better than Tsushima. Tsushima, if you look at my review on that, I gave it a 7 out of 10. So I'm not saying that was even a great game. But I ended up selling that game eventually because there was nothing left else to do. The director's cut did make it good. And if I find that game again for like really cheap, I'll probably buy that again, because that was a true samurai game. I love this game for the fact that you do feel like a samurai when playing it, and the accessibility features with the controller was fantastic, original and creative. The environments, fantastic, beautiful. Photo mode, fantastic. But ultimately, it's a 5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on what you think of the game. I think it's a 5 out of 10. It's just a good game. It's just an average game. Nothing more, nothing less. DLC can bump this score up to a 7, but we shall see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.